Hashtag askgojiman, how do I improve detoxification without doing some crazy juice cleanse or water fast? Great question, let's get to it, roll the titles. Welcome back, it's good to see you all again. If we haven't met before then, hi, I'm Gojiman. I'm currently studying for a Masters in Nutrition and qualifying as a nutritionist, and next year I'll be studying for a PhD in nutritional science. I do plant-based nutrition videos every other day in which I answer your health questions under the hashtag askgojiman. So if you have a question for me, then hashtag askgojiman in the comments below, and I'll choose one of these to answer in my next video for you. And without further ado, to the question. So before I jump into improving detoxification, let's first discuss what detoxification actually is, because it's a topic that often confuses many. So detoxification is essentially removing toxins and toxic substances out of the body, predominantly via the liver. I also want to add that just because there are a number of idiots online pushing the boundaries of what is safe, that not all water fasts and juice cleanses are bad for you. If they are done correctly, then they can be very transformative for your overall health. Now, your body is constantly detoxing and trying to protect you from toxins and metabolic byproducts. So what we should all be doing through nutrition is giving the body the raw materials that enables it to quickly break down the toxins and excrete them before they get a chance to cause any damage in the body, and there are a number of different ways in which we can do this. Now, you may or may not have heard the terms phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification, or the detoxification pathways. So essentially what we are talking about here is taking the fat-soluble toxins at phase 1, such as BPA, and then turning them into water-soluble toxins in stage 2. Now, this is done in the liver using a number of different pathways such as oxidation, hydrolysis and reductionism. Fancy science lingo, but it simply means taking the toxins in their fat-soluble form and converting them into water-soluble forms to enable the body to easily remove them. And again, at stage 2, there are a number of different pathways such as methylation and sulfation that you will probably have heard of before that help pull these toxins out of the body. So a good analogy for phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification is making a smoothie. So phase 1 is taking all of the fruits and vegetables and putting them in a blender, and phase 2 is simply liquefying everything. So phase 1 in terms of detoxification is taking all of the toxins and putting them in a blender, i.e. your liver, and then phase 2 is liquefying them and making them easy to remove from your body. Now, the problem arises in detoxification when you don't give the body the right materials to break down the toxins, or in the smoothie analogy, it's like trying to liquefy the fruits and vegetables with a broken blade. So you are left with only part broken down toxins blocking up the liver and being recirculated around the body instead of being excreted. Now, for phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification, protein plays a pivotal role. This is because some of the body's main antioxidants for removing the toxins, such as glutathione and superoxide dismutase, are made from amino acids such as glutamine, glycine and cysteine. So if you've not heard of it before, then glutathione is the body's master antioxidant, which when produced from the amino acids glutamine, glycine and cysteine, really helps pull the toxins through phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification and then out through the stool and the urine. Now, obviously, when we are pulling toxins out through the stool, it is essential that our gut function is on point. So if you have problems with gut dysbiosis, candida or SIBO, etc., then the bile production and your enzyme production can be impacted, which will then slow down the transit time of your food and the toxins through the small and large intestines, which will then allow the process of auto-intoxication. Essentially, it simply means that the toxins get reabsorbed through the gut and then recirculated throughout the body. So it is pivotal for detoxification that we have lots of beneficial forms of bacteria and only minimal amounts of pathogenic forms of these bacteria. And because of poor diets and antibiotic use, etc., many of us have a disproportionate amount of bad bacteria and lower amounts of good beneficial bacteria, which makes detoxification very challenging indeed. So Gojiman, I hear you say, how do I know if I have problems with detoxifying? Are there any tests that you can take to spot the problems? I am glad you ask. Well, the first simplest and cheapest test that you can take through your doctor is to take a liver function blood test that looks at the liver enzymes ALT, AST and GGT. So obviously if these numbers are chronically high, then you know you have issues with the liver and also detoxification. But the drawback of these bloods is that they tend to only be chronically elevated late in the day when the liver has been struggling for a while. A much better way for looking for early problems in detoxification and the liver is to take an organic acid urine test. So basically the test will highlight pathways in the liver that are really struggling. So you will tend to see elevations in things like 2-methylhyperate and also sulfur. And then obviously when you spot these struggling pathways, you can increase certain nutrients and foods in the diet or even supplements to speed up the detoxification pathways. So when we talk about improving detoxification in the body, the very first thing that you want to do is stop loading the body up with the toxins in the first place. So opt for those organic fruits and vegetables and drinking lots of good clean water, which means no tap water. I personally use the AquaTrue water filter, which is a phenomenal reverse osmosis filter. It basically strips most chemicals and bacteria out of tap water. In terms of detoxification, you also want to be loading the body up with methyl-rich donor fruits and vegetables. So methyl donors basically help the liver massively in phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. Now there are a number of nutrients that are essential methyl donors for detoxification, such as folate, B12, B6, choline, etc, etc. So in terms of food, think lentils, chickpeas, beetroot, kale, strawberries, citrus fruits, avocados, nut seeds, sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, etc, etc. The other thing that you really need to focus on for detoxification is clearing up those gut issues that you have, because as I said earlier on, if you have gut issues with slower bowel speeds, toxins will just be reabsorbed and recirculated around the body. So that's a bit of a short video, but hopefully it will give you enough to start thinking about in terms of speeding up and improving your detoxification pathways in your body, which is essential if you want to avoid heart disease, cancer, strokes, autoimmune diseases and all the other nasties. As always, if you have a question for me, then hashtag askgojiman in the comments below and I'll choose one of these questions to answer in my next video for you. And as always, remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.